Okay, so if you do not have a LinkedIn profile, consider having a LinkedIn profile. It's very important. It's very, very important. Have one.
Is it specialized for that company?
Anybody can go on LinkedIn.
Anybody can go on it, but it's specialized for because I opened the account, I've never used it.
That's the thing. A lot of people open an account on LinkedIn, but they don't keep their profile engaging. Because you create an account and you say, I'm going to Hostos, it's not enough. You gotta talk a little more about yourself. People need to know who you are, your education, your experiences. You gotta take a time to build that profile. Because oftentimes people have a LinkedIn account and you go to their account, they barely have 2 or 3 lines on their account. That's not enough. So yes, the people who take more time to put information, they often are professionals that have been doing work for a long time, so they tend to put a lot of information. But as a student, a lot of companies are recruiting for internship also on LinkedIn. So you want to be able to put the classes that you are taking from your majors that you think are relevant for any job. You want to put those information out there so when somebody goes to your profile, they know that you have taken all these classes and you have this type of experiences. You have to keep your profile engaging. That's how you're going to get some traction out of that. Okay, so now we talk about all those different types of communication and we talk about the definition of communication. Now we're going to talk about effective communication. What is the most important rule of communication? What? Active listener? Yeah, but that's not the most. According to me, that's not the most important.
To be a good listener.
Good listener is the same path. Anybody have any other than listening?
Engaging and to be able to transmit the information clearly.
Okay, that's part of it, but still not the most important. Okay, that's fine. Same thing, but that's not the most important. Keep it simple. Absolutely. Keep it always simple, but still not the most important. To make it clear? Yes, I will always advise you to always be clear when you communicate with people, but still not the most important. Wow. Alright. The most important rule of communication is go ahead. Yes. Know your audience. Because the way you talk to people is always going to be different depending on who's in front of you. You always have to know your audience. I can be communicating with my friends and using slangs and talking to them about different things that are being serious, but the way we're going to be talking about it is going to be very casual. But when you're talking to a group of professionals, staff members at the college, you have to adopt a certain way of communicating or transmitting the same message to them. So if you know your audience, you will always shape your communication based on who you have in front of you. It's also very important because if you have, everybody's a student at the college, but they are different types of student. If I'm a business major, if you're a health major, if you are looking for different jobs, we are both students, but when I'm coming to talk to you, I gotta be able to talk to you in your language. If I know you're a business student, what terms can I use to be able to appeal to you? I have to do that study. I have to make sure that I know my audience. If it's the health sector, what terminology can I use in my speech to you to be able to appeal to you as a health major? So all those things are very important. So know your audience is very, very important when it comes to communication because you will change the whole entire delivery based on who you have in front of you. The one thing that will never change when it comes to communication is the facts. Whatever factual information you have will not change. Do not change your fact based on who you have in front of you. And there is no such thing as alternative facts. Facts is facts. You can use the storyline that's very colorful to talk about that fact based on who you have in front of you. You can always do that. You can change the storyline depending on who you have in front of you, but the factual element of that communication has to always be the same. It cannot change. Remember that. don't change the fact because people only trying to please this group of people. Because then, guess what you're going to have to do? You're going to have to change it when you go to that next group of people. Now, you have 3 different facts in the table when you come to 3 different groups. And God forbid all those 3 groups meet one day. And they said, yeah, you told us it's 50%. You told them it's 75%. And they said, no. You told me it was 15%. So now, what do? Your credibility is on the line at that point. But if I tell everybody it's 50% as a threshold, and I use a different story to tell that 50%, you can never say that I told you it's a different percentage. It's still 50%, regardless of I use white, blue, red story to tell you, it's still 50%. So know your audience is very, very important in order to frame the way you communicate with people.
I was just going to say that the way you don't have to change the message, you don't have to change the word and how you say it. It's a different group of people. You can still use the same message, just they use different words.
People do that all the time. Same message, different words. Some word are good, you go to some audience, they want to hear some type of word. So you gotta give them that word. Some people want to hear some softer word, but still expressing the same meaning. So that's why some words have like 10 different synonyms that you can use. And you can use them depending on what audience you have in front of you. So it's very important. So again, this is really, know your audience provides the lens through which you approach the communication. And that's what I just explained. Because it's going to be very important so you know who you're talking to and know how to frame the conversation. Okay, so in this context, you have professional and academic. So if you're talking about the school setting, you have administrators, you have staff, faculty, and some other students. And when you're talking to them, you have to always be professional when you're talking to this group of people. And the other one is semi-professional when you have, usually among students, among each other. If you don't really know somebody, you tend to not really go over the board, so say, semi-professional. And when you talk to each other, but the minute you cross the line over to friendship, most of the time you become really, really casual because you know each other. Well, you're not gonna talk to me in a very formal when you really know each other. But in this context, the last one is not really what we're trying to explore yet because you guys already mastered that. You know how to talk to a family member, friends already. But the first 2 are things that we have to always be mindful of as we frame our communications. Okay, so this brings up, as I mentioned earlier, the concept of emotional intelligence. I'm only going to briefly touch on this because, as I said, emotional intelligence, I covered this topic in a different separate workshop. Emotional intelligence is very critical in the way you approach every communication because anybody can tell you what emotional intelligence is or what does it mean. What is the definition of emotional intelligence before I go further? Anybody know that? Emotional intelligence. Okay? Being able to examine your own emotion as they happen. That's part of it. Yes. Anybody else want to take a shot at it?
Being able to channel your emotions for something good, like making something better.
Okay? That's still part of it, a portion of it.
I heard emotional intelligence is understanding your emotions as well as the reaction that you cause on other people. So let's say if you're talking, are you making like a positive emotion among your audience, or are you perhaps making them scared or afraid or whatever the case may be? So just knowing, being aware.
Yeah. So that's the other part. Emotional intelligence is your ability to manage your own emotion, but manage other people's emotion at the same time. It's very important. You know who you are. You know your emotion. You can manage that, but let me just say that some people don't still know how to manage their own emotion. So you have to go beyond managing your own emotions and then manage other people's emotions. And this really can make the conversation or the communication go smoothly, or it can become a fight. Because somebody get upset, and you didn't know how to handle that, and instead of trying to appease the fight, you go in really hard, say, no, you're wrong, I say you're wrong, I'm right. When you do that to somebody, do you think they're going to be willing to listen to you when somebody comes at you like that? But let's flip that. Let's assume that I say, I understand your point, but I want you to also consider X, Y, and Z. Just think about it for a minute. I see what you're trying to say, but do you think that we can do it this way as well? If I talk to you that way, will you listen to me? Yeah. Believe me, in most cases, that's how you get around to people coming to your side when you try to convince them. You gotta show them that they need to wear somebody else's shoes and see things from their perspective. Because it changes the dynamic. Because once you do that exercise with somebody and say, oh, you're right. I didn't think about it that way, but that's actually a really, really good point. And then if they really buy into what you're trying to say, they'll say, you know what, let's try and do it that way. Or they'll tell you, I really see your point, but I still think we can do it this way or that way. So again, it's a negotiation. Every time you get into conversation with people, especially when you're trying to get people to do something, and you have to be able to manage that. It's not easy to manage because inside of you, there is one of you have multiple personalities inside. One of you screaming, you're right. Don't let them do that to you. You're right. You're going to be hearing that. But sometimes you have to be able to say, you know what? I'm going to let somebody else try this and see how it works. And sometimes when you come to leadership, you're going to be in a position where you're going to have to let somebody lead. Because we all have different strengths. You have to know your own strength. And when a situation presents itself where you realize that person is really good at that, you can let them take the lead on that. That does not make you any less of a leader. That's why it was called situational leadership. Because in every situation, somebody else may rise as a leader out of the group. And you guys have to build that community for people to be able to assess each other's strength and be able to believe in that. Emotional intelligence will get you there. It takes a long time to master. It's not something that's easy because as human beings, we are very emotional. That's just who we are. Then you being able to control those emotions, even your own. Again, 2 points. You have to be able to manage your own emotion and then manage others. Managing yours is the first step. You have to be able to do it. There's a lot of time where I got to a point where when I'm upset, I just walk away from the situation most of the time. Because I always say, I will say something to you that I probably don't mean, but that's going to have a long-lasting effect. And you always want to remember that. Even though I will come back and tell you, I'm sorry, I didn't mean it that way, it's going to be somewhere stuck in the back of your head. Did you really say that to me? Did you really say that to me? It's always going to ring in the back of your mind. So when you get into those situations where you really might say things where later on you might regret, take a step back. When I'm upset, I don't write emails. Because, that email is not the best email you want to write. Because it happened to me. And this is my experience. I sent an email, and somebody sent another email to tell me that I was wrong in terms of what I said, but I knew I was right. So I said, no, you need to do your homework, blah, blah, blah. So in that moment, I was so upset the way they did it, I started writing email. I wrote like almost 2-page worth of email. Oh, believe me, sometimes when you're upset, people get under your skin, you feel like you need to get all of it out. You just have that feeling that I need to get it out. After I finish writing the email, say, you know what? I'm not going to send it right away. Just left it there, walk away. Came back an hour, 1 hour, 2 hours later, I look at it and say, this is too harsh. This is too harsh. I start crossing things out. Maybe I don't want to say this. Maybe I don't want to say this. By the end, I didn't send the email. Because I really deemed that it wasn't worth it because I'm trying to justify why I was right in that situation, but I'm going to cause more conflict than I resolve the problem if I send that email. So I just left that email, didn't address it.
Wait, imagine that. Like, so you just break, you tell me, because when I get upset, after saying those long messages and then it's too late to delete it, especially on WhatsApp. Oh my God, I send those long text messages and I'm like, oh, this, and then boom. Oh my God,
Yeah, you can. Sometimes you can take it back once it goes out.
And the person just like, I know that that's the thing, the person just taking it the wrong way, like, oh my God, what am I gonna do? And then I just like, I'm feeling myself because now I heard the person, mad at me with me because I don't want to talk to them. So what are you doing this to?
So, most of the time when somebody upsets you, regardless of the situation, it's okay to write everything that you are feeling at that moment, write it down. But don't press the send. That's the most important part. Do not press that. Because oftentimes, when you're upset, you want to let people know how you feel. So that's you expressing your feeling and letting it out. But once you let everything out, usually we tend to calm down a little bit when we feel like we have let it out. Yeah, you feel a little at ease, and then from there, when you go back and look at that text message, you're like, I don't want to do this.
What was I thinking?
So exactly. So you can always write things, you can express yourself, but do not send it. If by mistake you might press that send, I advise you not to write it in the platform. Go in the Word document and write everything in the Word document. Or have a pen and paper and write it out. So you will not make the mistake and hit, instead of delete, you press send, I don't know, but it may happen where you really want to do something and then you send it to somebody. Again, once it's out, hard to take back. Yes, you had a question?
No, I was gonna say that now Google allows you to unsend for like 10 seconds. So
That's the thing. You can only unsend or recall a message. We call a message if the person hasn't seen it. But some people, or almost everybody, have phone with their email connected to their phone. So something pop up, the first reaction is click. So you literally have to run, sprint to try to get it back. And you may be successful sometimes where you can recall things without people seeing it. But oftentimes, people always click before you try to recall it.
I was saying that sometimes it's better to speak in person face to face. Because for me, when I was doing something yesterday, and this person was trying to tell me that I collected something that I did not. And he was going back and forth, and I said, I tried to call, but they did not pick up. So I said, I'm not going to go to this back and forth with you. I don't like, I'm saying that I did not get anything, and you're saying that I am. So that's it, I'm not going to, I tried to call again, later on, the person said they were at work, and they couldn't pick up the phone, and they would apologize. But so sometimes you say things, or you email or you text, and people don't understand what you're saying because they don't know what tone you're saying it, how you feel at the moment, and it can be misunderstood. Yes.
So, thank you for bringing that up. That was my next transition actually. People will always read whatever you send them based on their emotional state in that moment. If I'm happy, whatever I'm hearing from you, regardless of bad, good news, my current emotion is going to dictate how I receive it. If I'm sad or if I'm already angry, just one word may trigger you because you were already in that space. So remember, people are not seeing you, so they cannot see that emotion that's coming out of you when you are communicating with them. So they're only interpreting whatever you send to them in that email or in that text message. And oftentimes people always use the wrong way to interpret it because they were already upset at you for one reason or another. So they feel like, oh really? You feel like X, Y, and Z in that moment because they were already upset at you. And I always tell people, when you guys are fighting, don't use text message. Because oftentimes it just makes it worse. Because the other person is not really interpreting what you really mean in your text the way you meant it. They will take it the way they want to because they were already in that emotional space where they are not being receptive to whatever's coming from you.
One of my older sisters, she talks loud already, so that she sends messages. I always interpret it as her just always jealous. So now I'm always like, no, because it's like an older sister, kind of little sister, like, no, you're not coming to do, right? But the thing is, she won't answer when I call because I'll interpret like, okay, she's yelling at me. Now I have to call her so I can yell back. But
Yeah, maybe there's somebody in all caps. Say, what are you yelling at me? One thing that I would tell you in that instance is try to be patient. Because sometimes, I don't know the situation, but overall, that will be my prescription to you. Try to be patient when it comes to this. Because, yes, you feel in that moment because remember, you already doing your backs when you already picture and yelling at you in the email or the message, so you already taking it out of context. Maybe it wasn't that, or maybe it was that. But in that moment, you're already hearing her yelling all these things. And you're trying to go back at her. So technically, you weren't trying to diffuse the situation. You were trying to make your point known as well.
Yeah, I was.
Exactly. So again, the patient part is just, you hear that, you boil, again, if you need to type something, type it. But don't send it. And let time go by. And try to engage the person in a different time. Let a couple hours go by, because if you do it within the next few minutes, the person is going to feel like you're trying to do a back and forth with them. Then when you let some time go by and then you call them, then sometimes people are shocked. Why is she calling me? Or why is he calling me? And now they're trying to process that. You say, no, I just want to talk about this. And the tone of your voice is going to play a critical role, because the minute they pick up that phone, they're already going to be on the defensive. Because they think you're going to attack them. But when you don't attack them, it changes the whole conversation. Because now they feel like, I can't go back because she's not attacking me. How can I attack her? So again, being patient and letting the time go by in order for you to address the situation in different spaces is going to be very essential for you to win. If you do that a few times, guess what? It takes a couple of time to do it, and then it gets better.
I actually do that now. Yeah. So not hours, really so long, like days.
Whatever time it takes. Yes. Yeah.
Like, what if you're trying to pour the heart to that person, right? Like, you're and then they just say, okay, like, oh my gosh, or they just read it without answering. Ooh, Lord.
Yes.
I'm like.
Again, people react to things differently. I'm the one who will say okay, because, why I will say okay to you is because if we are already in a fighting turn, and then you say those things, you pour your heart, you explain, I listen to you. But in that moment, if I try to explain myself, you may not hear me out. So I'll say, okay, can we talk about this in a different time? Or can we have this conversation later?
If you say that, that's okay. But the person just texted and said, okay, like.
Remember, it's over text message. Some people just say, okay, you think you're right, you think you're smarter than me? Okay.
Like,
People do that all the time.
And I'm like, wait, did I just pour my heart in and I just like, that's not start like writing this.
Then you can say, if that's all you have to say. I meant, do you want to talk about this in person over the phone? And then you open that channel, because over text, you already got an okay. So you want to avoid, you want to get into a deeper conversation. Can we talk about this later? Try to always be the bigger person when it comes to this. Yeah.
But, okay, so what she was saying, it's important to, as you said, to know your audience. Okay, I'm not going to generalize them, right? But we need to know that men don't react to things the same way that we do. And we expect them to say, we say, I should follow her heart to whoever it is. If it's a man or it's a guy, he's not going to react. Okay, he may not say, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry, or something, he doesn't. Okay, or something that's going to make you even angry, So we have to know.
You have to know who you're talking to.
Yes.
It's very important. It's very important. Men, boyfriend, brothers, we usually think that's important where something happens, you say all this happening, you say, okay. Yes. I understand how you feel, but remember, that's just.
Yes, ma'am, yeah.
But you can now push the conversation and say, I really need your advice. What do you think I should do? Force them to talk by asking the right questions. Because by you just pouring your heart out, they're like, okay, I'm just listening. At this point, I'm not providing solution. And but sometimes, the interesting is, sometimes you guys are not necessarily looking for solution. You just want to vent to somebody. and then we start providing solution, and you're like, no, I don't want you to solve it for me. I want you to listen to me. But I didn't know you just wanted me to listen to you. So again, you gotta declare your intent. So when you want solution, ask for the solution. When you don't want solution, just declare from the beginning and say, you know what, I just need to talk to somebody so they can hear me out. I don't need anybody to solve
So we
it.
gotta be clear with.
Yes.
Okay.
You gotta be clear, yes.
Clear with something.
Ability to control emotions sometimes gives us the trust and respect from others. But I think for me, from my experiences, I'm someone, I don't really let my emotions take control of me. And only smile at everything. I think I have an experience with my friend when he was kind of angry with me. Everybody expected a fight. And I just looked at him and I said, sorry. And I just left. And then I was at home and he called. He was like, hello. How come I said sorry when he was wrong? I'm like, if I didn't say sorry, he could have taken to something. But I'm just trying to control myself so I can control you too. And from then, he has respected me ever since.
If people feel like you diffuse the situation instead of making it worse, because when you're in that emotional space, oftentimes you want the other person to react back. That's just how we are. We want them to react so we can go back and show why we are right. But when the person diffuses the situation, oftentimes we are taken off guard and we don't know how to feel about that. So some people will say, oh, so that's all you have to say after everything that I said. Or some people will say, wow, I was really expecting a fight, but he decided not to do a fight. So I respect that. So again, it's you managing that situation, you control the situation. Again, that's really good things to do all the time, especially when you might get to a physical situation where you might be really fighting. Always try to avoid those. It's not necessary. You don't have to show anybody how strong you are. You don't have to do that. So always be the person who always diffuse the situation. Alright? Let's move on to the next one. I wasn't going to stay on this for too long, but I always end up doing this. So these are the different elements of emotional intelligence, and I'm just going to read through this quickly. But again, we can talk about this in a different session at a different time. So self-awareness is one of the things that you have in your Cunin style model. You guys remember that model? The Cunin style model? This is very important because when you're self-aware, you manage things better. Yourself, others, and you manage your professional environment. Again, it's very important that you be able to have control and practice each one of these things that are on this slide. Self-management is social awareness. Who you have around you. How are you being perceived? What kind of interaction are you having? And then relationship management. Are you that person who always tries to influence the relationship? Or are you the catalyst that always tries to bring everybody together? All those things are things about you that you need to know and be aware of because it might become skills for you. Because in some instances, when we need to go convince the president of the college to give us something, we're going to have to assess who in this group really is really good at convincing people. Or be like, you know what? We're going to have you lead this fight because we know you can articulate things the way when you can be convincing. Because if I'm the one that always say, oh, let's make peace, let's not fight, let's do this. If you really want this item to happen, I may not be the one that you want to have talk to the president because the president is going to say something and then say, you know what, okay, I hear you, let's not fight about it. But somebody else said, no, Mr. President, you're going to have to come up with something else other than just this. Yes. So again, you have to learn people's skill. So all these elements are part of the emotional intelligence, and it's very essential that you start to notice all these elements because the more you notice them, the better you start to get at it and practice it and use it in every setup of your life, personal life and professional life. If you can use it in both setups, you're going to become a better person for sure, and definitely you're going to become a better leader. Okay, public speaking. Alright? So, what is the purpose of public speaking? What is the purpose of public speaking? Absolutely. Public speaking, yes. Share experience, yeah. Public speaking is a means to do so many things. You just want to provide information to people. or you want to persuade people. And the most common public speaking type of persuasion that we see is when elected officials are running for office, they are trying to persuade you to vote for them or to support them, whatever it is that they're trying to sell you. So they will come in front of you and say, we're going to make change. I'm going to bring everybody together. All those things they're trying to persuade you. And some instances, something happens, somebody just want to provide information about the situation that happened. Again, all that fall into public speaking. What are some examples of great public speakers that you know? That you can, on top of your head? Obama is always the first one I hear from people.
Mandela.
Yeah, Michelle is also a great speaker. Mandela is a good one. Malcolm X. Trump?
He's a good speaker.
Why? No, listen to what she's saying. I don't disagree with you. I 100% agree with you. When that name comes up, people always tend to be divided in the room. He does every single homework when it comes to public speaking. Yes. He knows his audience, he knows what they want to hear, and he always gives it to them and rally them. Yes.
You cannot only speak what audience wants to speak, but to go at the same time to uses of the humor, he makes it happen. And that's why artists.
So he does all his homework when he comes back. He always wants you to be talking about him when he is addressing you. So you may not like him, but guess who you're talking about? Him! So he's good at what he does. So yeah, you may not necessarily be the leaders that you feel that you connected to the message that's coming out of the leader, but in terms of when it comes to public speaking and communicating, oh, he does his homework because he has that thing where he can rally a group and maybe all the information are wrong, but that group is ready to take that information and run with it. Yes. So again, that's why I was like, why? Because often when I hear that name, people say, no, that's not true, blah, 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 until you put everything on the table and you realize he's really good at what he does. He's really good at that. So again, you can clearly see from there how public speaking can be used for different things. It can be used for good, bad, depending on what you're trying to achieve. If you master it properly, you can use it for so many things. So just keep that in mind as you are going through your own journey as a leader. Okay, so in order to be a public speaker, if you really want to be good at this, these are some key elements that you need to consider. The first thing is passion about the topic. Every great speaker you're going to hear, they are always passionate about what you're talking about. Because people will always connect to that passion. People want to hear the passion, they want to feel it. You have to be able to, you have to do your research and be prepared. Especially when you're doing a public speaking to an audience that's not friendly to you. When the audience is friendly, they don't question anything that you say. They take everything you say. But when you're trying to talk to an audience that's not friendly to you, you need to be prepared to answer questions. It's almost like going to Congress and testifying from Congress. So you always have to do the research and be prepared. Yes. So the second thing you have to overcome is your anxiety. One of the reasons why a lot of people don't like public speaking is the anxiety that comes with it. The fact that you stand in front of a group of people and then talking, some people just don't like it. It's really, you have a big anxiety. And remember, this thing don't happen overnight. It takes time. You gotta start somewhere and you gotta keep practicing. You gotta keep practicing. The more you practice, the better you get at it. Even until today, when I have to speak in front of any big group, in that initial moment, you feel that butterfly in your stomach. It happens. There's nothing wrong with it because now you're really feeling that you are in touch with your emotions in that moment, and then you are even much more motivated to do a better job. So anxiety is not necessarily a bad thing, it's how you overcome it that's really important. You have to be genuine. When you have a group of people who may be friendly or may not be friendly, if you're not genuine, they're gonna read into that. So you have to be genuine. Always try your best to be genuine and tell people the true story. Remember, you gotta stay factual. Don't make excuses. You cannot make excuses of, oh, I have an accent, so you know what? I'm not a good public speaker, I'm not going to say anything that's going to pick up. No. Even with an accent, you can still practice and get better at it. Make eye contact when you're talking to people. Remember what we said about eye contact, especially in this country? Eye contact is essential. When you're talking to an audience, you have to make an eye contact with the audience. And use less note. You don't want to be perceived as, okay, you have like all these papers, and then you're just doing, my name is X, Y, and Z, and I'm doing X, Y, and Z. People looking at you like that. Okay, we want to connect to you. What is the connection? The less note you have, the better, because you look at the note, you know what you want to talk about, and then you deliver, and you connect to the audience. It's very important if you do that. Okay, so we have about 25 minutes, right? So in the next 25 minutes, we're gonna go through this process. We're gonna do that activity. We're gonna do the elevator pitch, which is usually the initial public speaking, because you meet somebody for the first time. You gotta be able to make the good impression in the first 30 seconds. 30 seconds, people are already making assumptions about you and making their mind about who you are. How do you have those initial 30-second introduction? And remember, if you're meeting with a CEO, an executive in any company, even here, you want them to give you really their time. The first 30 seconds is how you're gonna have to convince them to give you their time. Because if you do it right, they will say, you know what? Speak to this person, let's put some time on the calendar, and then we're going to talk more about this in detail. So it's very essential that you know how to do elevator pitch. So the key elements that are very essential for you to put in your elevator pitch when you start thinking about it, we're going to practice in a minute. Who you are, need to go in there, because if you're talking to me, I need to know who you are. Second thing, what do you do? Are you a student? What's your major? I need to know if you're talking to the president or another student. If you're talking to a CEO of a company, what do you do? What's your job? Are you working there or you work somewhere else? Why you do it? What is the reason behind what you do?